So, what happens when a company tries to erase its own superstar from the internet? Today, we're going to dive into a wild story about how a simple live performance, a ton of criticism, and one big corporate decision created a massive online firestorm. It's a perfect example of how trying to control a story can make it totally explode. It all kicked off not with a huge announcement, but with something quietly disappearing. A little mystery started unfolding across social media that got everyone asking one very simple question. And this is the part that makes you scratch your head, right? It just doesn't make sense. A company's entire job is to promote their artists, not to scrub them from the internet. So what was really going on? Well, what happened was fans started noticing that videos of Jungkook, from the global phenomenon BTS, were just vanishing. And we're not talking about random fan accounts getting suspended. No, these clips were being officially flagged and taken down for copyright violations by the very same company that represents him. To really get why the company reacted this way, we've got to rewind a little bit and go back to where these clips even came from in the first place, a single, casual live show. So the context here is super simple. Jungkook decided to host a live broadcast, just to connect with his fans. During this really informal stream, he sang a bunch of songs, even some covers of artists like Shawn Mendes. It was all very casual, not scripted at all, just meant to be a cool moment with his audience. But, you know how the internet is. That casual, fun interaction, it didn't stay that way for long. Things spiraled pretty quickly, and a huge wave of backlash started to form. So yeah, clips from the broadcast definitely went viral, but probably not for the reason anyone was hoping for. A really vocal group of people online started sharing these videos with some incredibly harsh critiques of his live singing. The internet, as usual, had a very strong and very public opinion. And people were not holding back. I mean, the criticism was blunt. Comments like this one took a direct shot at his reputation, just dripping with sarcasm and challenging his status as a great vocalist. And it escalated pretty quickly from just general sarcasm to these direct attacks on his actual technical skill as a singer. Questioning if he could even hit the right notes. The whole vibe was super pointed, it was all out in public, and it was spreading like wildfire. This wasn't just some tiny debate in a corner of the internet. It was turning into a major online narrative. But all that online chatter, that was only the beginning. What really turned this whole thing into a massive controversy was how the company decided to respond. Okay, so this chain of events is absolutely crucial. Let's walk through it. Step 1, Jungkook performs. Step 2, the clips get hit with all this criticism. And then, step 3, this is the kicker. His company, HYBE, starts issuing copyright takedowns. Now, the online community didn't see this as some standard, boring procedure. Oh no, they saw it as a direct answer to all that negativity. And right here, you see these two completely different stories taking shape. On one side, you have the company's action, issuing copyright claims, which, okay, might just be standard practice for them. But on the other side, you have the powerful way the internet interpreted it as a desperate move to hide a bad performance, which only seemed to prove that the critics were right all along. And this comment right here just captures that feeling perfectly. For the critics, the takedown wasn't the company defending its artist. It was like a silent confession that everything they were saying was true. So this whole attempt to control the narrative, it didn't just fail, it actually made everything so much worse. The company basically became an accidental amplifier for its own controversy. The move to erase the clips had the exact opposite effect. It's like when someone says, "Don't think about a pink elephant." What do? You immediately think of one. The takedown notices just drew more attention, making people who were totally unaware of the drama suddenly very curious. They started searching for these forbidden videos, turning a small fire into an absolute inferno. And what we're looking at here is a textbook, a perfect example of a classic internet phenomenon, the Streisand effect. It's the idea that trying to hide or censor something totally backfires and just makes it way more famous than it ever would have been. By trying to make the videos disappear, the company pretty much guaranteed that everyone would see them. Which really brings us to this huge question that's more relevant now than ever. In a world of screenshots, screen recordings, and instant downloads, is it even possible to truly delete something once it's out there? This whole episode seems to suggest that maybe, just maybe, the harder you try to scrub the past, the more permanently you etch it into the internet's memory.